This week, the ECD teacher at Rosemont High School asked two accomplished members of the media team, MaiMai and Kevin Rodriguez, to record and create a video on an important project currently being worked on by his students. Not knowing what to expect when heading into the classes, Kevin and MaiMai got a bit lost and ended up in the metalworking class when they were supposed to head to the woodworking class. Despite the confusion, the metalworking class was a great introduction to the ECD class in general and how it operates. MaiMai and Kevin experienced various machines that lower class students would never be allowed to touch, let alone operate. There was a trust between Mr. Antrim and his students. The fact that Mr. Antrim let his students use these machines independently shows respect in both directions. Eventually, Kevin and MaiMai found Mr. Antrim, and he showed them to the woodworking class. Today, the students were working on cutting the poplar wood into various differently sized rectangles.
Okay, so what we have here all taped up, these are the wooden blocks that are going to function as the units of measurement in a ruler. So if you've ever looked at a ruler or a tape measure, what you see are all those little lines of differing heights, and they indicate a different fraction of an inch. The fractions that we are using are 1/16, 1/8, then we have a couple over there. We have 1/4 and 1/2. Now, if you look at a measuring tape or a ruler, you have things staggered like this. You have your 1/16 of an inch on either side of your 1/8 of an inch, and let me grab the other ones right here. 1/2 inch right there in the middle. Okay, then we're gonna have our 1/4 of an inch. Those are separated by our 1/16 of an inch. So that's it. So these are the fractions of a ruler. And I'll start here. 1/16, 1/8, 3/16, 1/4,
5/16, 3/8, 7/16, 1/2, 9/16, 3/8, or sorry, 5/8, 11/16, 3/4,
13/16, 7/8, and 15/16. And so right there you have 0 inches and 1 inch. And when this is all done, what's going to be here at the 1 inch mark and at the 0 mark is a frame that covers the whole thing. So this all drops into a box and it's custom fit to be exact and precise. And once all the numbers are cut in here, what you're going to see is a box of blocks we're going to then jumble up. And students like yourself, adults, all the way down to little kids are going to get to mix them up and then put them back in order to help better understand A, how the fractions work, and B, how those fractions relate to something as simple as a tape measure or a ruler, because we can all use more practice at this. So that's what we want to give people, a really visual and easy and fun way to practice this in person. And it's going to go to trade expos and demos and go to school sites in Northern, Central, and Southern California, because Rosemont is building these for a nonprofit group called Build California, and we are building one for each of those areas. So we're building 3 of these at the same time. Doesn't matter. Or route the rest. Sure. Cool.
I noticed they're wider than your numeral.
Correct.
Okay, so we've done our first test pattern, and if you take a look, it looks pretty good, but it's kind of shallow. So we're gonna change the depth of the piece. We're gonna double the depth so it cuts deeper, and we're gonna change the speed rate so that we get less of what's called tear out, which is this kind of frayed looking stuff right here. So it should make it crisp and make it pop a little bit more. But we're starting off well. That's why you test first, because I don't want to use my final material on something to figure out all the tricks to get it right. So we got our guys plugging away on the computer. And yeah, I mean, this is a long process. Lars said last night he was working on the coding till 3 o'clock in the morning. So, I mean, this is a school project. A lot of people think of these classes as like just electives or a fun class, which it is, but there's a lot of work and a lot of thinking that has to go into this. This is, you know, very, very minute math. We're cutting this right here at 1/10 of an inch. So we have to do this, you know, very, very tiny increments. So we had to do 2 passes around in order to get this the way it is. We're gonna have to double that. So it's gonna be 4 passes going around each of these numbers and each of these lines to make sure it's the right depth. Now, when we do this on our final pieces, like this one, we have it taped up. The reason why is when the drill bit runs, it's gonna cut out just the space right here. Then we're gonna be left with the rest of this covered, and we can put paint. So there will be paint at the bottom of these numbers, so they'll be very visible. So they'll stand out. They'll be like nice high contrast. So again, just the things you have to think about multiple steps down the line. A process of living and learning and figuring this stuff out. And then by the time you get to a fun project like this, all your hard work pays off, and all that time and effort you spent figuring out those tricks really come to fruition, and they come to pay off right here. So yeah, that's what we're working on right now.
On the third day, we entered the metalworking classroom to discover students painting the fractions on the shapes to make them more readable. We took this opportunity to observe the ECD students in their natural environment.
Well, they're gonna sand it down.
I know, but I'm not.
I wish they primered it. I don't know why they didn't.
So yesterday, I saw you in the woodworking room working on this project. Is that true?
Yeah.
So what has been your role in this project? Like, what have you been doing?
So basically, I took care of cutting the pieces down to size, and right now we're working on painting them and getting them finished up so we can send them out to schools.
So you've been doing a lot of the hands-on work.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like I've been a major part of the project.
What has your experience in the ECD program at Rosemont been like?
So I've been in the program for 4 years. It's been pretty great. I've known a lot of these guys for a long time. We all have a lot of fun, even though it seems like it's hard work. It's always not hard, because if you love what you're doing, you're never gonna feel like it's rough.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
After interacting with the painters for a while, we headed to the woodworking class to check out what Mr. Antrim was up to.
It was like that for how long now?
It's the first time I'm noticing. That'll make a difference.
Someone knows about it too, I'm pretty sure.
Huh?
I thought all you guys knew.
No.
So I saw
No.
maybe you guys probably know.
Negative. Batman.
Well, my bad.
Oh, my bad, dog. Okay, so, all right, Mike, check it out. That works perfectly. That's our frame. Do you know Mr. Josiah?
Yeah.
The robotics coach from Einstein? He wants one. We want one. They're so cool that we're now getting multiple people that are like, hey, if you can.
If you can.
If you can. And so I think we can. Wow, we've got this piece. Shoot. That's bad. Oh, nuts. Good enough. Please don't tell me I have to go buy another piece of poplar. Please don't tell me I have to buy another piece of poplar. It's not. Oh, it's so close. Oh my God. I think we just literally have like 7/8 more than we need. Maybe.
No, we just can't mess up.
No mistakes. Colleen! Yeah, leave it in your very capable hands, Mike. We got a few minutes left for the bell, and then
It'll be the same measurements,
same, 16. So it's every time.
so just line the first one.
Yeah, yep, exactly. Okay. All right, so we've got a project here, a collaboration between Rosemont ECD and between Build California. So on behalf of Rosemont High School, this is our final product. So this is Katie from Build California. We worked together to create 3 of these identical projects so we can showcase not only what we can do, what you guys can do as students and what can be produced by kids here, but we can pass this on to the next generation. Katie reached out to us and asked us what we could do to build something like this, and this is what we came up with. If you take a look at the blocks, you can see that they're CNC engraved, and then the students hand painted the ball. They chamfered all the edges and put a nice round over on it, so they're nice and soft for kids, no sharp edges to cut yourself on. And they used a laser engraver to put both the Rosemont ECD logo and the Build California logo up here, so that wherever this is displayed, that this partnership is prominent, because we like to create a lasting impact and a lasting partnership here at Rosemont. So, Katie, what do you think? Are you guys pleased with the result?
They look amazing. Thank you so much, Rosemont High School, and all of those of you who worked on the project, and super excited. Each of these are going to go in a different region of California, North, Bay Area, and SoCal. So students across the state are going to be playing with the project that you worked on. So thank you all so much.
And then we've got, thank you very much. And here's our build team back behind here. These are some of our, this is the majority of our build team working together to make this all happen. So whether it's the coding, the printing, the painting, the cutting, the fitting, the mitering, all this, all done by students. So, you know, it's beautiful to see what students can accomplish with ideas and execution, because the product is clearly better than we could have expected. So thank you very much for the opportunity.
Thank you. And thank you all for your hard work. I appreciate it, you guys.
It was an incredibly interesting experience, getting to see this part of Rosemont which many students don't even know exists. This project is a testament to the creativity and teamwork of our ECD class. Thank you to Mr. Antrim for this opportunity, and for the activity he'll soon be sharing with us in other schools.